Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your hosts, the half Kryptonian, half bald human man hybrid son of Superman, Kyle Charles, and my co-host CY. But this is a new intro because we're carrying our mini-series on Superman and his rogues, and this is part 3. So, like I said before, I had to edit the episode into 3 parts. So this is the intro to part 3. And I can't remember what we recorded because we did this quite a while ago. So yeah, that super villain is great. So on to the episode and I'll catch you guys at the end. Enjoy. Actually, hold on. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you watch this on YouTube. And if you're listening to the audio realm, give us a 5-star review. It helps us out, doing this for a while and I'd like to grow a bit more. So yeah, now on to the show. My cat is trying to murder me. So on to the show. Bye.
Mongral. You know about him, right? Actually, let me, before we go to that, because this actually ties into another one. Impurex, do you remember that one?
No.
Do you remember Our World's at War?
I never read it, but I've kind of heard about it. Because isn't that when Doomsday kills Steel?
Oh, yeah. And that's when Luther was president as well.
Yeah, that was it, yeah.
And, I think Impurex is more worldwide universal threat, but I don't know how often he appeared. Anyways, in this story, Mongral's son teamed up with Superman to teach Superman how to use his own multiple abilities at the same time while fighting.
Okay.
Yeah, because for some reason, right? And this was around 2003, I think, or something. But Superman uses powers one by one. You know when you get surrounded by a bunch of ninjas in a martial arts movie and they all come at you one by one, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same with Superman. He'd be like, I'll use my heat vision, and then I'll use my ice breath, and then I'll use my super speed, rather than let's use them all at once. In one panel, Mongral's teaching him, telling him what to do to fight, and he's like ice breathing the bottom half of Mongral and heat visioning the top half of him, while punching him, not punching him, sparring. It's like, okay, you know what? Actually, you're teaching him skills. Of course, being Mongral, what you're going to do is once they've dealt with the Imperiex threat, you're going to try and turn on Superman, and then he's going to beat you up. So
yeah, because Mongral just has the same sort of plan the whole time.
Yeah. There's 2 versions. There's the Sun. There was Mongral as well. You probably know Mongral from Suicide Squad.
Yeah, and she was in a few episodes of Justice League Unlimited as well.
Yeah. She got her head punched off by Mongral, the Sun.
Oh, cool.
He did an Eddie Kingston spinning back fist and her head detached from her body.
Oh.
Yeah.
But, so is she related to them?
Yeah, she's meant to be the daughter. She's the daughter of Mongral 1.
Yeah.
And the sister of Mongral 2. Now, okay. I don't know, by the way, which version of Mongral it is right now in DC Universe, because there was Mongral 1, and then he got killed by Neuron.
Yeah.
And then Mongral 2 took over. But then, did they retcon all of that? In New 52, they just reset it as, they made I think they made it like Mongral is a tile that the Wardle leader gets, and it gets passed down, just like they did for what Ra's al Ghul is in Batman Begins. It's just the tile that gets passed down.
Yeah.
About kind of like how supposedly James Bond is, right?
Yeah. Okay. Which they could have done, but then they flopped that. But yeah.
So the only things, the significant things I remember Mongral doing is he was in what's that story? The Black Mercy story. I can't remember what's called. The title of it.
Oh, for the man who has everything, isn't it?
Yes. That was really good, by the way.
Yeah.
And then Superman got really vexed off, and he just was like, Mongral, I'm gonna pummel the hell out of you, right?
Yeah.
And I think it was even worse in it was a good adaptation in the Justice League animated series, right?
Yeah.
And Mongral was able to fight Superman to some degree in the comics, right? But his face got battered in the cartoon.
Yeah.
You look
yeah.
like you got hit by several cars.
Yes, yes, yeah. I think Mongol as well got a hit. He's trying to. Okay, so if I remember correctly, Superman went to the Matrix Supergirl world, and he ended up putting the General Zod and the two other underlings, who had pre-crisis powers, by the way, killed them with kryptonite.
Yeah.
Because they're raising the Earth, and then he came back to Earth, the Earth Prime or Earth One or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then he started having nightmares and stuff, and that's when he became Gangbuster. He had dual identity. I don't know if you. Okay, so Superman got so guilt tripped, right? He was like, it is when he was going to sleep, he was actually putting on a gangbuster costume and beating up criminals like Batman.
Yeah.
And then part of the story was like, where's Superman going to find who Gangbuster is? Except that he was himself in the end.
Yeah.
Which was a storyline that Daredevil also had, by the way. Where Daredevil in the black suit, right? Matt Murdock in the black suit was trying to find a yellow suit Daredevil. It turns out it was him all along.
Oh.
Anyway, but he was also having a meltdown as well there. Because Matt Murdock and meltdowns kind of go together.
Yeah. Man.
Anyways, after that, Superman exiled himself from Earth. Like, he went to, I don't want to say spend a bit of time in space, but just be like, depression, yeah?
Yeah.
And then he ended up, he somehow ended up on War World. Not because he flew over the stuff, because, he's a Superman adventure. He just somehow, and then he had to beat up Mongral.
Yeah.
Because he became a gladiator. Superman got forced to find a gladiatorial arena. And I think how he took out Mongol was he did the tornado thing where he just sucked all the breath out of him.
Yeah.
But then he also collapsed as well because it was at that very point in his endurance that he was also almost finished. Which I'm like, okay, fair enough. But then I think as gradually Mongol appears more and more, he becomes less and less of a threat.
Yeah.
Because I think we know him from Return of Superman, where he bombed Coast City with Cyborg Superman.
For lols, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And he was more of an underling in that story, even though he had a fight with Green Lantern, and then he kind of transferred to. Well, he transferred into the Green Lantern. He fought Hal Jordan, right?
Yeah.
He beat up Hal Jordan pretty well because he's yellow skinned. Even though your costume's purple and blue, Hal Jordan should be able to hit you still, right? Yeah. Unless you're gonna strip naked and fight Hal Jordan, which
could be a possibility.
Yeah. Well, no. Look, if you know the Green Lantern's weaknesses, right, and you're yellow skinned, why not?
Yeah.
Anyways, Green Lantern pumps himself with essentially adrenaline and armor with the green ring. Grabs Steel's hammer. Bam! Yeah, sends Mongol, flying across one part of Coast City to the other, considering it's all covered in War World bits and pieces. Yeah. Right. But also, I'm gonna say, I don't know if you hit Superman with a lead pipe, it's not gonna do much damage to him, right?
No.
And if Mongol can take punches from Superman, how does Steel's hammer hurt him that much?
Because Steel's hammer has something called plot convenience in it.
Yes. I know you're going to say as well, how Jordan's ring enhanced the density of the hammer, which affects the hammer. But so there's no green around it, that doesn't able to be not affected on Mongol. Yeah, Anyways, and then he decides to escape the jail that they put him in, and by that time, Carl Rayner's Green Lantern, he decides to go to LA, to fight Carl Rayner, because he can't tell Green Lanterns apart. Apparently, humans apart. I don't know, right? And then Superman comes and helps Green Lantern take him down. I'm like, all right, fair enough. But yeah, I think then there was Underworld Unleashed, where Neuron's like, yo, all of you people sell your souls and I'll give you extra power and whatever, right? Because I'm Lord of Hell sort of stuff. And the Mongol's like, nah, if anyone's gonna rule anyone, it's me. I'm gonna be ruler. And then Neuron's like, nah, I ain't got time for this. Snap. No, anyways, yeah. So that's how that one got finished, and then how did Mongol 2? Yeah, Mongol 2 appeared in Our Worlds at War,
Yeah.
and the next thing I know from Mongol 2, he's there was a story of the Black Mercies again, and that's where him and his sister menace Superman and Batman and the Green Lanterns or something like that. I can't remember exactly. Was it Green Lanterns? I don't know, but that's when he punched her head off.
Yeah.
And then he became a Yellow Lantern at some point. Which I was like, okay, there's logic to this, right?
Yeah.
There's logic to this. And then and he tried to overthrow Sinestro, and Sinestro's like, no, please, bitch.
Wasn't he? It was weird because I remember the same with like what's his face, Cyborg Superman and who's the other one who was in it?
Superboy Prime?
Yeah, they were green. They were yellow. They were part of Sinestro Corps, but they didn't have rings. They were just
Well, Superboy Prime didn't have a ring because he didn't need it, right? Cyborg Superman had many rings, but I don't think I can say that he used them to any full potential.
no. I think it was just rings of like people we killed. If I remember correctly, it was like rings of like Green Lanterns and stuff that he killed. I was like, okay.
Oh no, he had the Yellow Lantern rings, but then I think all you see at the end of his story of his Sinestro Corps chapter is that he beat up Clark Kent. Well, he beat up Superman ish, and then next thing you know, during Superboy Prime's chapter, Cyborg Superman just flies to the floor, and Supergirl, Superman, and Power Girl are just flying over him, and they're like, "Yo, Superboy Prime, we're gonna beat you up as well now." So yeah, he probably just like we know about Cyborg Superman. He's not necessarily clearly holding back or anything like that, but he doesn't have the heart to fight properly because he wants to be murdered.
Yeah.
He's got a death wish. But yeah, Mongol tried to overthrow Sinestro to be the leader of the Sinestro Corps. He was like, you realize the guy, it's not called the Yellow Lantern Corps, it's called the Sinestro Corps, it's got his name in it. I don't know how you think you're going to overthrow him.
Yeah.
Probably because he's like, I don't want to say more human in aspect, because Hal Jordan is capable of fighting him. Not to put him that Hal Jordan down, I'm just saying, like, that just means Sinestro is more human and less superhuman in physique.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, there's these Yellow Lantern rings, right? I can control them. They are created from me for me, right?
Yeah, literally.
So whatever you think you can do, I'll just take over. And he just basically is like, yeah. Mongol actually, I think he created like a side tangent of the Sinestro Corps, or Sinestro is doing something else.
Yeah.
Probably in Green Lantern jail or anything like that, right? And then he's like, Mongol, you tried it, and you tried it good. You even beat me up some, yeah? But I tell you what's going to happen now. And he just Sparta kicks him into the into Yellow Lantern battery and said, now you are going to power the battery for us. Yeah. I don't know what happened since then. I know they did a new 52 version of him, which had a red and grey coloured costume. And that's when they explained Warworld is passed from sun to sun or something like that. Just like how the Phantom's identity is,
Yeah, from sun to sun to sun.
Yeah.
Phantom 29. Wait, what was that?
Yeah.
Phantom 2042. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like, so we were saying before how Darkseid got ripped off by Thanos, and Thanos then got ripped off by Mongol. And Mongol is a third version, a tertiary tier version of Darkseid, because he's got his own planet, he's big and buff, and he's a Superman villain or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like, if you don't want Darkseid to take the job, you put Mongol in there to do it.
Yeah, right, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that guy.
Yeah. But yeah. Any other Superman nemesis? I just know about the Atomic Skull because he looks like Ghost Rider, except he's not.
Yeah. And I've only ever seen him, which is hilarious. Like, he's in the Justice League cartoon a lot, but he doesn't say anything at all. He's just like one of those non-speaking roles. I'm like, oh, good on him, I guess. Because like you said, he always looked cool, but he just
yeah.
didn't.
Let's see. Yeah, and I don't know much about Bloodsport either. He was like they said in the Suicide Squad movie. I just know he was the dude that managed to shoot Superman with a kryptonite bullet, and then
that's it.
Yeah. don't know nothing else about him.
No.
You know.
Kind of forgot. Again, I didn't know he was a thing until Suicide Squad the movie.
Yeah, I only know Chemo because he just looks like a big radioactive liquid inside a clear, transparent humanoid shell, and then he got dropped on top of Bloodhaven.
Yeah. That again, that's the only thing I know about him.
Yeah. There was a dude, Conduit, who I think in the mid-90s, he was the one that tried to murder Clark Kent.
Okay.
Yeah. You know when there was the death, there was the death of Superman.
Yeah.
There was also a story like the death of Clark Kent, because apparently he got killed by Conduit, right?
Okay.
But because he was Superman, he was like, "Well, clearly I'm alive, so I can't. What do I do now?"
Yeah. What do I do?
Yeah. But I don't know much more about that. I don't even know if he's made any appearances since. Mr. Orr, he was in the Superman story for tomorrow. He was in also, what's that story? Superman story that Jim Lee also drew again, the New 52 one with Scott Snyder.
Oh,
Right.
I want to say Superman Unchained.
Yes, yeah. But I don't know about anything else about the guy.
No.
Actually, it's good that you remember that title.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I was like, in my head, I was going to be racking about with it for ages. And who's the main villain in that?
I don't even know. You know, I'm like surprised why I actually remember that. I never even read it, so I have no idea why I remember the name.
Oh right.
Yeah, Superman Unchained. Oh, only because I remember the cover. That's why. Yeah. Because I think that's similar when it came out with was it All-Star Batman? When it was Zack Snyder and not
Zack Snyder. What's Zack Snyder? You mean Scott?
Scott Snyder and John Romita Jr. and it's
yeah.
I remember the.
Oh yeah, yes.
Batman's got
yes, it's
weird.
not the same All-Star. Yeah. It's not like so. All-Star Superman was the Grant Morrison alternate universe version or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But All-Star Batman. No, it was not All-Star Batman and Robin. All-Star Batman, right?
No.
Yeah, because that's the Frank Miller version that never got finished. Yeah. It's computer. Oh, yeah, them tiles, right? Why didn't it just? Anyways. Yeah. Do you know anything about the Kryptonite Man other than what I was saying about in the what's it called? Whatever happened to Man of Tomorrow? I actually don't think I know anything about the Kryptonite other than he emits kryptonite and he's green. Because
you're about to say he's made out of kryptonite, right? That's literally what I was
well, I don't think he's made out of kryptonite.
Oh,
that's the thing.
Even worse.
Wait, okay. Give me the lowdown of what your version of the Kryptonite Man is, just so I'm not gonna mock it, right? I'm just gonna be like, literally, you made it sound like a piece of kryptonite gained sentience, and it was like, yeah, I'm gonna become a human-shaped person. Yeah.
Okay, I have two theories because I actually don't know enough about his character. This is when I heard Kryptonite Man, these are two things I thought of. Okay. Either, like you said, he was a piece of kryptonite that came sentient, or
by the way, it's not as. I want to point out it's not as far-fetched as it seems because the Time Trapper, in the Legion of Superheroes, is a sentient timeline that becomes a physical being.
Oh, there we go.
So you can change the identity each of the stories and still make them all relevant because, okay, all right.
And then my other theory would have been that he was a man who got kryptonite. Something happened to him. He got infused with kryptonite and became Kryptonite Man. Yes.
The second version is the more accurate version.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Though the first version would have been the more. If we were in the 60s and the 50s, right?
Yeah.
The first version would have been the most perfect version.
Yeah, would have. But no. They have to be realistic.
Yeah. Livewire.
The character who I thought was made for the cartoons, but I don't know if that's actually true. Woman who, it's gonna sound really stupid. The electric version of Killer Frost.
Yes.
That's how I've always pictured her as well. There's the electric version of Killer Frost.
Yes. Even though you point that out, I'm like, yes. Even though for me, it was like that's the female version of Electro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is
Other than
Killer
that-
Frost a Superman villain?
Sorry?
Was Killer Frost a Superman
Oh
villain?
no. No, but to be fair, I don't even know if she's a Flash villain either.
Yeah. I don't think she's a Wonder Woman.
I think was she a Batman villain?
I don't think so, because then that kind of makes Mr. Freeze redundant.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Hey, I need to know now. Wait, I need to know.
Hey, look, there's four Clayfaces out there, right?
Yeah.
I don't see why there can't be two people with electric power, two ice powers, but in the Batman Rogues Gallery.
Yeah, but like,
There's Catwoman and there's Catman. Come on.
But are they? Are the Clayfaces there at the same time though? Like,
They have been,
oh, they're not.
and then I think the new 52 version is basically he was all of them, or something like that. I don't know.
Something dumb like that.
Okay, might have been yeah. I don't know.
Okay. Oh, she's a Firestorm villain.
Oh yeah. Okay, that makes more
Yeah,
sense.
it makes more sense. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay. How much do you know about Magpie?
That she died.
In Titans, you're talking about?
Wait, was she in Titans?
Yes, the Titans season 4.
Wait, I have Jinx.
Oh no! Wait, on what?
That was Jinx in
What?
Titan season 4.
Damn, why do I think it was Magpie? Was there a Magpie in I think there was a Magpie. Okay. Maybe you know what? I'm gonna have to go and look this up because all right. Okay. Well, but do you know anything else about Magpie? There's only one reason about Magpie, and I'll get you to that in a minute.
Yeah, the only reason I know about Magpie, there's a joke about her in Batman and Superman Public Enemies, where Batman's carrying Superman through the sewers.
Yeah.
And Superman makes sure like, oh, why can't we have villains like oh, he goes, oh, what was it? Oh, whatever happened to Magpie? And Batman goes, she died. He goes, oh, why can't we have more villains like her? And I was like, oh, okay. That's the only reason why I know Magpie. Don't know.
So the post-crisis version of Batman and Superman, Batman went to Metropolis to chase down Magpie or something like that, and obviously Batman and Superman, because of the reset universe, they weren't really on friendly terms.
Yeah.
But they were not on they weren't enemies like in Batman versus Superman, right?
Yeah.
But he's just like, look, Superman's like, Batman, I frown upon your tactics, right? And Batman's like, well, Superman, I've trapped a bomb to someone in Metropolis, right? So if you stop me from doing what I'm going to do, I'm going to blow up that bomb and kill. And well, I'm going to blow up that bomb. There's a time limit on the bomb, and that time will go off, and that person will explode, and then you'll be at fault. Like,
okay.
Wow. Okay. And then he's like, well, you can come help me, Superman. Right? You can come help me find this Magpie person or whatever, right? And then no one has to blow up. And Superman's like, you're a bastard.
Huh.
Right? And then they resolve the thing. They shake hands to their friends, and he goes, "What about that bomb that you said? Were you bluffing or was that for real?" And Batman's like, "Yeah, it was for real. It's attached to my belt right now. I was the person. I was the person. Now we're gonna danger no one else but me." Oh my goodness! And I was like, "Oh, that's not the greatest plan in the world." But he needed to know that he needed Superman to know that he was telling the truth because he could read his heartbeat.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. All right. Well, okay. Fair enough.
I was going to say, he could have just, looked at, done his X-ray vision. Like, no, Batman's utility belt's covered in lead, isn't it?
I tell you what, what could have just happened from the very beginning. Batman could have just asked him to help, and that'd have been that, right?
Yeah, instead of going a long way around it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, okay, Batman, you could just why are we gonna make everything super hard?
I know, innit? Just why? It could say, oh, by the way, Superman. No, you don't really trust me, but I'm in Metropolis, and you're from Metropolis, so I think I might need your help. And Superman goes, okay, cool. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, literally, that is end of the discussion.
No, I'm just gonna create beef for no reason.
Yeah. And
But then again, this was during the time period where he was beefing with Nightwing. for no reason. Like, yeah, Batman. He's Batman.
Yeah.
He's a character and a half. That's what I'll put it that way, right?
Nice way of putting it.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Any other Superman villains off the top of your head you want to mention? Because I'm seeing a list here, but some of them I wouldn't say are particularly Superman villains and are mainstays in this roster or reoccurring.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to really go through them. And some of them we just don't know anything about, I'd say, because they don't appear enough.
Yeah. I'm looking for
I'm reading there's the Insect Queen, but I only know the Insect Queen from the Amalgam crossover where Spider Boy is the cross between Spider-Man and Superboy, but he's a clone of the DNA they used for Super Soldier mixed with Spider DNA, hence, and so he uses telekinesis to stick to walls. Okay. And the Insect Queen was his version of Mary Jane.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like the final page of Spider Boy where it's like, face it, tiger, you hit the jackpot or something like that. And I was like, okay, but then even though that's not even proper version of Insect Queen, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Volcano. Again, I don't really. No. Literally looked at it as well. Like, no, this is. Well,
but would you? Okay.
Again, wouldn't cross really Grundy as a Superman villain.
Oh yeah, I mean, Solomon Grundy, I say, is probably have the power level of a Superman villain ish, but really he lives in Gotham a bit more.
Yeah.
And I think he was an Adam Scott nemesis.
Yeah,
anyways,
I see more as like a Justice Society villain rather than like.
Yeah, I think he was a Green Lantern Adam Scott villain that kind of just went into Justice Society when Adam Scott didn't have his own comic.
Yeah.
And then because he lives in Gotham, he encounters Batman every so often.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, like, after going through Superman's roster, do you have you changed your mind about how you see them, or are you like still? Yeah, they kind of hear like he's got some name value characters, but but you don't rate them all.
No.
Okay.
This,
Okay. You're like, even after we've gone through bits and pieces of you haven't changed your mind about where they kind of stack in a good road gallery.
Yeah. No.
So I'd say he's got variety, but the problem is his power level is way too high, and some of these people shouldn't be really problems to him, and the people that are problems to him.
Why?
Well, the big pretty ones were very similar.
Yeah, but
and then the rest of them he's fighting scientists and evil corporate businessmen. I don't know. There's got to be a middle ground somewhere for these guys to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Luthor kind of covers it all because he can make the tech suits that kind of cover that sort of ground to equalize them.
Yeah.
Even though you can only do that to a certain degree, you know.
Yeah, but everyone else is like.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Would you like to see? Okay, are there some of these villains you would like to see live action?
Not really.
Okay,
the ones that we sort of already spoke about, like obviously like Darkseid, Brainiac, Luthor, maybe Mongral.
I feel what is that the movies have stuck to the same 2-3 villains, right?
Yeah.
I say 2-3 villains, but really, so you got General Zod.
Yep.
And you got Lex Luthor.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And Doomsday, right?
Yeah, Doomsday, which I thought they used him way too soon. But
too quick, yeah. But Superman does have other enemies they could use.
Yeah.
In movies, I don't know why they just stick to
They only stick to the well-known ones, doesn't it?
Yeah. And Luthor can be a villain, but he doesn't need to be the main first villain.
No.
He could always be like the villain of the third movie or something like. You know, like how Superman and Lois kind of saved him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
so like with you can have him in like the first Superman film, but not as a villain. You know, just like sort of in the background. or
a
kind
bit
of
like
the Smallville sort of approach. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You
or
build up
like
to it.
or like I don't know if you know the idea of one of the Fantastic Four movies that never got into production.
Mm.
But Doom was going to be helping the Fantastic Four,
Yeah,
Victor, and then he become like I think during later on in the series he becomes Doom, and he blames them, and then he fights them. But
yeah,
before that, he's like their ally. So
yeah. Because
you know,
they could do sort of like that. Yeah,
yeah,
like kind of like Smallville, where Clark and him were friends, and then
yeah.
yeah. Well,
I don't know, by the way, if I agree to have Superman and Clark and Lex Luthor from not necessarily from Smallville, but and not necessarily not being friends, right? In
Yeah.
Birthright, in Superman Birthright, Lex Luthor was in Smallville for a very small period of time.
Yeah,
And same with Superman Secret Origins. I wouldn't have it in extended time
yeah.
there
No,
because
no.
it just. Why wouldn't you know if you're friends with this guy? Why wouldn't you have you know?
Yeah, you must be that dunce that you can't
Yeah,
realize.
unless you're gonna say his ego can't allow it to be, but that's kind of like more denial
Yeah.
rather than
And especially if
then
he's meant to be like, the smartest man in the world.
exactly.
Kind
Yeah,
of.
I mean, both things can be true at the same time. However, you're gonna have to say that denial is super strong.
Yeah.
Uh,
Literally, like you're wearing glasses the whole time.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh, I didn't know my best friend for not a million years, but for so
Yeah.
long was Superman. How did I not
Yeah.
see this? It's like you have
All right.
blatant, there's blatant signs.
Okay, so finally, if we start with Lex Luthor, we're also going to end with Lex Luthor. What do you think? How do you think Nicholas Holt's portrayal? Do you think he'd be a good Lex Luthor? Or well, obviously, we don't know any material or anything like that's going to happen, right? But as the actor playing that character, a version of that character,
I don't know. Maybe he'd be alright. He was
Alright.
okay. He was good as Beast, and I hate
Yeah.
Beast as a character, but
okay.
I liked
Yeah.
him. His portrayal of Beast because he did.
He was the one of the finalists for being Batman
Is
in
it?
the Batman. Yeah, it was between him and Robert Pattinson,
Oh, glad they went.
and
Pattinson.
because he was Beast, that's why they didn't choose him.
But I can't see him as Batman.
That's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I can't see him as Bruce Wayne.
I don't say I couldn't see him as Bruce Wayne. I think he has to bulk up a bit.
Not even bulk up. It's like I don't know. His face to me doesn't have Bruce Wayne vibes to
What emo vibes to it?
it. Yeah.
That movie version of Bruce Wayne, or do you mean? Because I can see him doing Bruce Wayne, a Bruce Wayne character. I don't know about the Robert Pattinson version of Bruce Wayne because that seems a bit like I'm down at the dumps all the time.
Because like I don't know, like Bruce Wayne has sort of like a I've gone through stuff sort of face. Nicholas Hoult doesn't really have that, in my opinion.
Okay, but Lex, do you okay? Do you think? Do you reckon that will hinder his portrayal of Luthor? It will help him because remember, this is guy who's
It could.
wants to be the number one in the world of humanity. You know,
Yeah.
everyone look up to me, like that kind of over the top pompous vibe,
Yeah.
all about me kind of vibe.
It could.
Yeah.
Because like his character, I remember when he was in that show Skins.
Yeah.
His character kind of was like that, like he was a narcissist. So yeah, I can see him pulling it off. Yeah.
I have to say as well, I know people slate him, but Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, I didn't like how he was told to portray the character.
Yeah.
Right? Like he was hyped up on
Coke.
speed.
Yeah.
Right? However, I reckon Jesse Eisenberg could have been a good Luthor with particular material.
Yeah, same here.
That not necessarily catered towards him, but
Like,
I don't. There's a bit of an out there portrayal for Luthor.
Like I didn't. If I don't know, I kind of like the idea they kind of went with Luthor. I think we spoke about this before, but like, I think they went a bit too overboard, like you're saying, for certain bits. I didn't mind, like, okay, he's the sort of, I want to say, Facebook bro sort of thing, persona. But then they went a bit too like, ha, I'm quirky. You're like, okay, it's not too much.
Yeah. He's like hyper HD ADHD kind of guy.
Yeah, you know.
Whereas at the end of the Snyder Cut and at the end of the Justice League Joss Whedon Cut, when he's on the boat,
Yeah.
he gave me the vibes of, okay, you know what? I can make a Mecha Tekka suit
Yeah.
and fight Superman, or I can get a group because basically I passed my origin story. I just have my hatred for the guy now.
Yeah. Like if they showed that bit earlier on, then I think it'd been fine. But even to the end, he was all, "Woo, I'm quirky," and then he gets his head shaved, and then he's all like serious. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, in conclusion, you're still where you stand with Superman's villains, and as I'm going through, I'm like, you know what? They ain't so bad as a collection of rogues galleries. There are worse out there, but it's not. I want to say it's one of the best because they don't like Superman and Spider-Man. I'll say those villains test him in different ways.
Yeah.
But most of these guys are, I would say, they're either tricksters / pranksters. So, you know, funny kind of villains, brute villains, or mad scientist villains. You know, they fall into distinct categories.
Like realistically, I think he should have more, like, you know,
or alien warlords and stuff like that.
Sorry, yeah, that supernatural base is like, you know,
yeah.
His weakness is magic.
Yeah, I feel like they should be more powerful enemies ish.
Yeah,
and less of the lower tier ones.
Yeah,
that he can easily deal with.
Yeah.
So you remember? Well, you know, Superman's vulnerable to magic, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you know he encountered Dracula one time?
What?
Yeah. This is in the mid 2000s. You know, Ian Churchill did the art, so I just kind of remembered about the time. But okay, so here's the logic. Yeah, are you gonna tell me whether you agree with or disagree with it? Okay.
Okay.
So Dracula is magic in this universe. I think he has some abilities. He had the hypnotic ability. Okay. Yeah. So I think it's a bit of magic.
Okay.
And because he's magic, he can bite Superman. Yep.
Kind of.
So, okay. What? So he bit Superman, but Superman's solar powered, right?
Yeah.
And Dracula can't stand the sun because he's got that deadly allergy, of course, right?
Yeah.
So he sucks Superman's blood and then he explodes.
Huh.
Yeah. Well, all right. Yeah. Solar powered blood. All right. Okay. Right. That's okay. You know.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and just one more thing about our boy Darkseid, right? Did you ever read the X-Men Titans crossover back in the?
No, I've never actually got around to reading that.
So this was around this is around the period of time where they were doing the first Superman, Spider-Man crossover and the Batman Incredible Hulk crossover.
Yeah.
So logically speaking, the Superman and Spider-Man crossover had Dr. Octopus and Lex Luthor as the nemesis. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Batman and Hulk had the Joker and some person called the Shape of Wells, which I've never heard of before or after.
Okay. Yeah.
Titans and X-Men for some reason. Yeah. Phoenix Force, fine, right?
Yeah.
But Darkseid also.
That's a bit overkill, isn't it?
Yeah. Deathstroke was in there somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And if it was Deathstroke and his reverse Titans, or whatever you want to call them, teaming with the Hellfire Gang, Hellfire Club, yeah, fine, yeah,
yeah,
I get
sense.
that,
yeah,
but it's not, it's not. So Darkseid's trying to manipulate the Phoenix Force so you can use her as. I'm not sure if it's the anti-life equation or to get through the source wall. I can't remember 100%. All I know what happens at the end is Cyclops gets infused with the power of the Phoenix.
Okay.
Because Jean Grey, the entity, the entity of Jean Grey, or whatever you want to, the spirit of Jean Grey, I don't know, right?
Yeah.
Bonded with him, kind of, yeah?
Yeah.
So he does a mega optic blast that is in the shape of a phoenix. Okay. Enhanced powers at Darkseid. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, and that's how that ends. So, yeah.
Oh. What year was this?
19... 82 I'm seeing here.
Okay, that makes sense now. All right.
Yeah.
It's close to the 70s, but nothing made sense. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yes, okay.
Oh god, I don't think I'll read that then. If I'm honest.
Well, if you want to see the first time Cyclops bonded with the Phoenix Force, then well, no, actually, it's quite a fun crossover because it's instead of fighting each other and then teaming up, they're like Robin's like to Cyclops, "Yo, I think we should just team up," and they're like, "Yeah,
Sure, makes sense." Rather than,
Yeah.
hey, let's fight, and then this understanding. We're all friends now. Yeah.
yeah." Well, I have to say, for the pure wackiness, maybe you should, some of these in the 60s and 70s. If you know what you're going in for,
Yeah.
then you read it and enjoy it. Like if you read the Incredible Hulk and a Batman one from that time, yeah. Hulk throws a car at Batman. Batman jumps through the car windows, like from one side of the car windows through the other side of the car windows.
Yeah.
And doesn't get hurt. So that's very great accuracy on the part of Batman, right?
Yeah.
And then he gas bombs Hulk, and then Hulk's like, Hulk's just gonna hold his breath. Yeah, ain't gonna breathe none of that knockout gas. And then Batman just does like a rewind up kick into Hulk's stomach, which then causes Hulk to all his breath exhale like massively. But you're like, wait a minute, Batman, unless you got that enhanced leg kicker from Dark Knight Rises, you ain't do nothing to Hulk.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Hulk power level had got crazy because he did get choked out by a anaconda one time. So
yeah. Okay, that's a bit.
that was way back in the day as well. Probably when they didn't lock off the power levels of the Hulk. I mean, probably when they did, and they were like, he's got to be within a certain range, and then it just gets crazy and crazy, like Wolverine's healing factor.
Yeah. Well, now we can
What?
survive a nuke.
Yeah. And just to close off that, there was a bit where Beast Boy, I think it was called Changeling there, but Beast Boy and Wolverine met.
Yeah.
And then Gar Logan is asking Wolverine, what's his name? He says Logan. He goes, oh, maybe we're related. No, mate.
No, it wouldn't be because,
Yeah, one of you's green, but that's different, right? One of you don't even know if it's actually your real name.
Yeah, so...
And you wouldn't even know if it's his first name or his surname, so... Yeah.
Yeah, so it wouldn't really, work. Alright, sure. Alright, sure, I guess. Cool.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's... okay, that's us having... Wow, quite an extended talk on Superman villains, right?
Superman, yeah.
I actually thought this was going to be way shorter than it was.
I was saying, but...
Yeah, he's got quite a roster. That's what I'm put that way.
Got lots of, interesting things in his nearly 8-year career. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's true. Yeah, it is true here. Though, we could say Green Lantern also has about that sort of length of career, and I see Green Lanterns. I'm lumping them all together. But if we go through the Green Lantern roster, we're not going to hit as many characters. I don't think.
Yeah, we won't. A lot of them are weird as well.
Yeah. And like we were saying before, you would have thought Nightwing would have had a decent rogues gallery, but I think it's more in the last 20 years they started building stuff in.
Yeah, when they actually started to care about him more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bless him. So yeah, I guess that was my opinion hasn't changed. Yeah. Terrible.
Not terrible.
Not terrible, but
yeah, but that'll be us signing off for this episode.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm the man who can't say his name backwards, COI Chong.
And I am the man who murders my own children. Carl Charles.
Okay, yeah, alright. Yeah.
Darkseid, didn't he? He killed his kids. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. It's true. Darkseid, yeah. What a character, right?
Yeah, he's the greatest. It just doesn't make any sense. He's the greatest. He's also has one of his kids is Wonder Woman's half sibling.
What?
Jason,
Grail?
Yeah. Wait, I think so. Wait,
Yeah,
no,
he
wait.
has he's a daughter who killed him,
Yeah.
and then had him rebirthed by what? Yeah.
Yeah.
That sort of nothingness.
Yeah, Grail, and then because she's half Amazonian, isn't she?
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't remember that story. I know it's called the Dark Side War, but I can't remember that.
Yeah, that's
that
pretty
story.
cool. That's when the whole free Joker thing happened as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's when Superman got poisoned.
Yes, that's when the beginning of the death of that version of Superman.
Yeah. Which I guess they didn't do on purpose, but yeah. Anyway, and thank you for listening to us blabber on about Superman and his villains and then our side tangents. Who is your favorite Superman A-list and C-list villains? Let us know. You can do that by leaving a comment or a message on the Instagram, on the Twitters, or even in our comment section on the YouTubes, which is down below. You can find all our social media links in the description. And if you're listening to us on the podcast app, don't forget to please give us a review. And yes, and until next time, guys, I'd like to thank you all for taking a trip with us around the multiverse. Bye.
Bye.